Hey, Westwood Whirlwinds.
This is Daniel Burney, principal here at Westwood Middle School. Mrs. McLeod and I are excited to bring you another edition of the Westwood Way podcast, like we do each and every week. Our podcast covers academic and athletic updates, upcoming events, and important dates and information, and sometimes even some great community and business partners.
That's right. In fact, I'd like to welcome this one of our community partners this week, Andy Brophy, who's the manager at Sonic. Each month in the Principal's Corner, we're going to be featuring one of our amazing and generous community partners who support Westwood in numerous ways. We appreciate all that you guys do for Westwood, so we're going to speak to him in a few minutes as he shares why he gives back to schools. I'd also like to welcome two of our special guests this week, former Westwood students Josh Chansey and Tommy Bryant, who are going to be our first featured students in our student spotlight section. And we'll hear from them in just a few minutes. But before we get to all of that, I'm turning it back over to Mr. Burney for important weekly announcements to kick off Principal's Corner.
Okay, guys, we got some important updates, some calendar dates coming up. GHS will be visiting again this week on Tuesday, November the 4th. This time, their Cambridge program coordinator will be talking to our algebra and geometry students all about the magnet program over at Westwood and the requirements that they need in order to apply.
You mean Gainesville High School?
I'm sorry, Gainesville High School. All right. There will be a link to the program in our podcast description. So please be sure to check it out and ask your students what they learned about the GHS visit. Parents, listen up. Picture Day is this coming Thursday, November the 6th. This will be done through our history classes. Students, show up for Picture Day ready in dress code. You can visit SWI website to order your pictures. And then on next Friday, November the 7th, the 8th grade Cambridge science students who have turned in their permission slips will be visiting the Kennedy Space Center.
I love the Kennedy Space Center. Have you ever been?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Years ago, and I hear it's getting even better. Remember to arrive at school by 7 a.m. I know it's a little earlier, by 7 a.m. because the bus is going to be leaving promptly at 7:30 a.m. See Mrs. Swass if you have any questions. Also on Friday, our theater program will be performing a showcase featuring students who are performing pieces at the district competition next month. That starts at 6 p.m. in the multipurpose room. Tickets are only $5 on My School Bus. Again, the tickets will be only available online. There are two options, either to prepay or you can pay online at the door. There is no cash option. Again, tickets for the showcase are being sold online via My School Bus only. There will be a link for you to do that in our description. Now I'd like to take a few minutes and chat with this month's featured community partner, Sonic, and the timing couldn't be better. We have our quarter water wars coming up. Mr. Andy, we'd like to say we truly appreciate your support. You've been a big support for us in years past, all the way up until this point. I remember years ago, I can remember even seeing Mr. Andy in person way back in 2020. So he's been supporting us for years, even before that. But now it's our time to talk to Mr. Andy firsthand. He's agreed to give us some of his important time. So thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Brophy.
Thanks for having me.
Okay. All right. So, Mrs. McLeod, what are some questions we have for Mr. Andy? I know he supports us with our quarter one awards, but I'm going to ask Mr. Brophy to kind of explain a little bit about what Sonic has done to support Westwood and then some opportunities you guys have supported our community as a whole.
So go ahead.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
So, yeah, we've done some of the certificates in the past, just help with PBIS. Of course, we've done the slush parties there. I remember lugging the slush machine, I would say maybe a decade ago, back there. And it was just awesome, seeing the kids and seeing the excitement behind it and allowing them to want to strive for something. I think school is more challenging than ever, and for teachers and the communities as a whole. So us community partners need to do whatever we can to kind of prop up the schools and help them, not just financially, but also to help guide students to be lifelong learners.
So what was your reason? So when you first were kind of deciding, hey, where am I going to put my support? What am I going to be looking to help and reach out to. What was it that really drew you to schools in general, especially Westwood, to provide that support? Because you could put your support anywhere. So why public education? Why Westwood Middle School?
I think it's multifaceted. I'll be honest. Some of it is a little selfish. I've got 3 kids in the school system, and I think that kids are our future. I mean, you hear it so many times. Children are the future. If the kids aren't getting educated well, that's who's going out back into the world. I mean, it's so important that kids they stay in school, they stay engaged in school. So I just couldn't think of a better way to give back to the community than to pour it into the schools.
So you've been able to be on campus during those like Q1 awards, Q2 awards, and so forth, and just been able to see just like the joy that you bring to the students, because they love those slushy award days.
Yeah, absolutely. So I stepped out of the managing role a few years ago, and so less and less I've been there, but it's such a great experience. And you mentioned, what are we doing in the community upcoming? So one of the things that Sonic has a education foundation, and in the past they've funded teacher projects. Actually, our store there on 39th Avenue, Sonic has this Dr. Pepper games that they put on every year. It's 31 years going. When we took bronze in 2023, I believe, and the Education Foundation partnered with us, and they gave $50,000 back into the community through the classroom funding. I'm drawing a blank on what the website is right now. But they did that, and then most recently last year I found out that, this year, they started it last year. They're partnering with the Ron Clark Foundation, and they're sending teachers that franchisees pick and sponsor in over the spring. And I'm sure you guys are both familiar with the Ron Clark Academy.
Yes.
I hadn't been. I saw it a few years ago. I was blown away by what he was doing. And then when I found out that this was an option, we decided, we're like, okay, we're going to give it a go and see if this is going to be something valuable for the community. So we're sending a teacher from every store that we have. So we have 8. We're cheating a little bit. We're sending 4 from Gainesville, and then we're sending 1 from each of our other stores to the Ron Clark Academy this spring for 2 days.
Wow, that's amazing. What an opportunity. I've seen Ron Clark once in action at a conference, and you're right, he is such a force to be reckoned with. So, quick question, and with so many different choices out there today, we've got private schools, charter schools, all those types of things that are available. What would you say is the biggest reason to have students enroll at their zone school or the public schools, Westwood, Howard Bishop, Lincoln, the schools that we have here in the Alachua County public school system? Why should students choose that?
And I think kids need to have a diverse experience. And so if you pull them out and you send them to a private school, that's the experience that you have. You also pull funding away from those schools. So inevitably those schools are they're not going to do as well. I think one of the biggest barriers with schooling and why there are issues is parent involvement. So if you pull kids out and you send them to, this other school over here, you're probably pretty involved with your kids. That's what the community needs. It needs parent involvement. It needs parent cooperation. It needs parents involved with other parents. That's how you build community.
Well, we really appreciate all your support, Mr. And as I forestated, I mean, this isn't anything new to you. You've been doing this for years, and you've been actually walking the walk. We love working with our business partners and our community members, and the business partners in our area have been very gracious. You being one of the mainstays, and we couldn't do what we do without your support. So I just want to say thank you, and we really appreciate everything you're doing. We're looking forward to even continued stronger partnership, and I want to get involved in some of those Dr. Pepper games, man. It sounds exciting. I'm kind of interested to learn more about it, so we'll be talking more about that.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate what you guys are doing. I mean, you guys are the pillars of the community there. So anything we can do to help, the answer is always yes.
Okay, awesome, awesome. All right, you heard that. The answer is always yes. I
love
remember that.
Yeah.
All right, all right. Well, Mr. Brophy, thank you so much for your time, and you have a wonderful day, sir.
Thank you so much.
You both have a great day. Happy Halloween.
All right,
Thank you.
same to you.
Yeah, bye.
All right. Thank you so much, guys. And we want to make sure that we give some kudos and commendations to some wonderful people on campus. We are coming towards, this is Halloween Day, so we're kind of full swing into the fall. And this is a great time of year to recognize some great employees. We had the opportunity to send out a vote amongst our faculty and staff for our Teacher of the Year and Employee of the Year, School-Related Employee of the Year for the 2025-2026 school year. And I am proud to announce that at Westwood Middle School, the vote is in, and our representative for School-Related Employee of the Year this year is none other than Miss Derora Deedee Williams.
Woo!
She is our EDEP coordinator, and she's been doing a phenomenal job here for years and years, touching many families. So thank you so much. Well deserved. And our Teacher of the Year for this school year, 2025-2026 school year, is none other than the Mr. David Sankey.
Woohoo!
Mr. David Sankey has been doing great work for years here at Westwood, and he is the robotics guru of our district. And not just the district, but the state. Not just the state, but nationally. Not just nationally, but in world's competition.
To quote Mr. Sankey, let's go!
Yeah, so we are proud of both of them. We are very thankful for everything they do to make Westwood what it is today. All right, so I'm going to turn it back over to Mrs. McLeod.
Also, please make sure to check out our description every week of the podcast, because in that area, you're going to find links to a lot of the different things that we've talked about. So you'll find a link to Sonic in there as well. And like Mr. Bernie, there'll be a link to my school bucks so that you can find where to pay for the tickets if you'd like to come see our showcase this coming Friday. So lots of different things are available there. Today, we're actually combining Student Spotlight with What's Good at the Wood, as we have invited two former students who visited Westwood and they had the opportunity to talk with our students in the 8th grade history classes about different electives and programs that are available over at GHS, like the ROTC, or as some students call it, ROTC, which I heard that for the first time, have never heard that, but I like it. So the ROTC, and also AFT, which is the Academy of Future Teachers. That happens to be at Magnet over at GHS. So we had a lot of students coming to speak with our students here about those opportunities at Gainesville High School. So the link to that PowerPoint that they used in their presentation will also be in our description. So check that out, because they shared about nutrition, they shared about the ACE and travel tourism. So just a lot of different things that they spoke about. So on that note, I'd like to welcome two very special guests to our podcast. We have Josh and we have Tommy, who are former Westwood students who actually came by because they were visiting with GHS students to talk about different electives that are available. And so we invited them here to talk about some of the things that they love about Westwood, some of their fondest memories, teachers that they enjoyed, and just all the things that is what makes it good at the Wood. So we're going to go ahead and start with Joshua.
Hey guys, I'm Josh Chaney, a student at GHS. I do ROTC and band. My most fond memories at Westwood will probably have to be with the band and the band director, Mr. Dixon.
Best band director in the county.
Best one ever. Yeah. So that prepared.
No shade, Mr. Pizer. No shade. We love
Yeah. That prepared me for band here at GHS more than anybody. Yeah.
What did you play when you were here?
I played bass.
Okay, so what do you play now that you're in the band at GHS?
I'm still on percussion. I played bass for one of our ensembles, but band at GHS is a lot more than here at Westwood, especially in the percussion. It's a lot more extensive. You learn a lot more instruments like the marimba, things like that, and I hope the drumline here also remembers me.
Oh yeah, our drumline is pretty amazing. So, and also you guys, just to give a little shout out to the band, you guys we have a competition this weekend, and then you had a couple of competitions a few weekends ago, and you placed like 4th out of 24 bands.
Yeah, a lot of bands.
So being in band here at Westwood is going to prepare you for joining that amazing band at GHS, and the commitment is worth it because they're both amazing programs. And so you're also in the ROTC.
Yes.
And so what do you like about that?
Being in a position of leadership, being able to teach other people, that really helped. The binder checks here really helped me out with that. Being organized, just having a plan instead of just throw my papers in my bag. Really helped out
Awesome.
with that.
Are there any teachers you want to give a quick shout out to?
Miss Wiki, Miss Bailey, obviously Mr. Dixon, and Mr. Sankey.
Awesome. All right. I'd like to turn the time over to Tommy and have Tommy talk about some of the things that you like about Westwood, what you do now at GHS, and things that inspired you.
Okay. Hi, Westwood. My name's Tommy Bryant. I'm a junior at GHS. I do weightlifting, and I'm in the Cambridge program. Also, I'm in the teaching program, and I'm the president of Psychology Club.
Hey. Now, weightlifting actually has been performing pretty well.
Yes. We have a very good team. I think we've went to state twice now, and probably the other thing, districts. I think we won districts last year, actually.
Hey,
so we're a very good team. I think, honestly, being in PE a lot, because I was in PE all through middle school, kind of trained me to be very competitive, but also consistent in sports.
Mhm.
So I think that's something Westwood helped me kind of develop. Also, I would say the binder checks also, again, because organization is so important in high school. You have so much going on. There's so many electives and clubs that you can do. And the binder checks just kind of kept me together. I still use my planner. I still honestly give myself binder checks. I clean out my backpack so I can have everything under the...
And teachers actually at high school tend to be a little less collaborative than at middle school because they don't really have the same type of team set up.
No.
So no one's checking to make sure that you've got things organized. So I'm glad we still are doing binder checks here at Westwood to try to help kids be organized. So I'm glad that stayed with you. So future teachers, that's one of the electives over there,
Yes.
or magnet programs actually. So what teacher inspired you when you said, I want to do this?
Honestly, I would say Miss Wiki. She was very helpful, especially because the math classes I was taking here were kind of hard, not a good, strong math student. But Miss Wiki and Miss Lloyd, she doesn't work here anymore, kind of inspired me to keep going and just kind of keep track, even when the subjects were particularly hard. I would also think Miss Rodriguez, because she was very put together as a teacher, and I always did very well in her class because she gave us rules and she gave us assignments, and I just knew I had to do them, and she always gave instructions. And if you followed her plan, you did very well in her class. So I say teachers that honestly just pushed me and kept the class going no matter what, kind of inspired me. Oh, I kind of want to do that, and try it out. So I did apply, and now I love the AFT program.
That's amazing. Well, we are certainly glad to have two of our former Westwood students back, and happy that you guys were able to take time out of your schedule, because we know you've been visiting classes today, to drop by our podcast and just remind kids here what's good at the Wood, why you enjoyed your time here. And so we just really, really appreciate it. So thank you both so much.
Thank you.
All right. Today's podcast has been full of fantastic information. I'd like to thank all of our wonderful special guests. I'd like to thank Mrs. McLeod for all the hard work she's putting into this podcast. Make sure this happens weekly. And we're going to be kind of coming back to you guys with more information. I know our listeners are getting some great things, great information to find out all the wonderful things that's going on here at Westwood Middle School. And we will continue to invite weekly guest speakers to ensure that the word gets out. Whirlwinds, we are always remember this. We are proud of you guys. We care about you. We're looking forward to great things in your future. And I would be remiss if I didn't tell you guys what the Westwood Way is. We remind all of our students each and every day, the Westwood Way is to be kind, respectful, responsible, and safe. If you remember those key characteristics, every aspect of life, you will experience success. So until next time, this is Mr. Bernie
And Miss McLeod
for the Westwood Way.